125 pounds, where Nick Babin for the Panthers is back into the lineup after an appendicitis. Held him out for a few weeks, Katie, but he is back wrestling, ranked 17th in the nation, taking on Trayvon Green from Pitt Johnstown, who comes in ranked number 10 in Division II.
Yeah, both of these wrestlers look really good in their respective divisions. Babin was a great pickup for Pitt coming out of Columbia, grad transfer. He's looked really good this season. It's been a hot minute since he wrestled. Like you said, he's been dealing with some health issues, so it's nice to see him back on the mat.
Went live earlier in the week, said he felt good, wanted to get some mat time in before the ACC duels next week, so here he is out on the mat getting some live action before the in-conference matchups, and here he's in on a shot, Katie, and he's going to finish, get the takedown. So Babin takes the early 3-0 lead, and he is very tough on top, and he's going to try to go to work right now to see if he can try to get some near-fall points.
Yeah, Babin's a very sticky wrestler. Whenever he gets his hands on you, it's hard to get him off, so we'll see what he does on top.
Spiral ride in right now for Babin, trying to flatten Gray out. Big lace in, now a leg gets in for Babin, and he's trying to continue to flatten Gray. Well over a minute of riding time already, and now a cradle locked in for Babin, and he's going to take Gray over to his back. Babin looking for the fall for the Panthers. Trying to lock up that leg. Gray able to pop his head free. And now Gray just trying to fight off his back. Still a lot of time to work here in this opening period for Babin. Now he'll lose the hold before near fall points will be coming to Babin there. Seven to nothing lead for Babin. And it looks like that will be the score here at the end of the first period. Take a look at the corner for Pitt Johnstown, head coach Tyler Reinhardt. He's in his first season as the head coach after taking over for the legendary Pat Pecora. And so far, he's trying to make his mark after being a national champion himself and serving as an assistant under Coach Pecora.
Yeah, Reinhardt, he's got some big shoes to fill, definitely, but he's done a pretty good job so far heading into this season. The Mountain Cats are 2-1 in their duels this year, and they're looking to keep capitalizing on that momentum.
He mentioned a little bit of a slow start to the season, but they've continually to get better each and every week. And I think, as expected, the slow start to the season, concerning the emotions that came into that first matchup, you know, where they ended up dropping a loss to West Liberty. But you know, I think it was just one of those things that was tough for not only, you know, Coach Reinhardt, but all these guys who, you know, wrestled under Coach Pecora all these years.
Yeah, wrestling's already a very emotional sport, and then you get someone who was a coach at one school for almost 50 years, and you lose him, and that's tough, not only on the wrestling team, but on the whole Johnstown community. So stepping back in and keeping the season going and doing it for Pecora is something they've really been focusing on this year.
Gray shooting in on the leg of Babin, but was unable to finish cleanly, and now Babin just trying to stretch him out and just needs to get that leg free and continuing to walk around with it, and we're going to get stalemate. 5 seconds left here in the second. Gray in on another leg. But once again, flattened out by Babin. Final seconds of the second period coming off, and Babin will have a 7-0 lead at the end of 2. Look on the other side for the Pitt Panthers, Keith Gavin in his 8th season as the head coach for the Panthers, and continuing to try to get the team better each and every season, and obviously having guys like Nino Bonacorsi come through really help, but continuing to see progress with the squad.
Yeah, we've seen a more consistent roster since Gavin has become the coach in the most recent years, and he said he's really proud of how his team performed at the Midlands Championships this week, and he's loving the consistency that they're bringing to the mat.
Yeah, not only that, but you and I talked a bit about it off air, Katie, the depth as well. And we're going to see that here tonight. The Panthers very banged up between illness, injury, so you're not going to see Babin is one of the few, or maybe even the couple that we might see here starter-wise, as he's going to get back points here on a wing tilt. But because of that, this is where it's like, okay, you need to have those quality guys and the quality backups to step in those scenarios. So we're going to get to see a number of those guys come here and try to shine. 4 near fall points for Babin, and he's also got the ride time point secured as well. So really just needs one more turn here. So we're going to get a stalling call on Gray. But a turn will get him the technical fall. Working hard with those legs in. Babin wanted to look at that cradle again, but now Gray rolling with him, and down to 30 seconds left here in the third. Stalemate. Babin looking to get bonus points here for the Panthers.
This is a great return for him. He didn't wrestle much, if at all, in the month of December, so it's good to see Babin back on the mat, especially before they wrestle Stanford next week.
Leg in, trying to figure out how he can turn Gray one more time. We'll go for the power half. Just trying to force him over. Gray doing his best just to try to fend this off, and he will. The ride time point will make it a 12-0 victory for Nick Babin, and the Panthers go up 4-0 in the team score. Nick Babin will put the Panthers on the board first as we now go to 133 pounds. For Pitt Johnstown, it'll be Tyson Cook. And for the Panthers, it'll be Tyler Chappell.
Yeah, this is one spot where we're not seeing our typical starter in Vinny Santaniello. He got a little banged up over the past week, so looking to see what Chappell can do tonight. Redshirt freshman out of Cranberry Township. He's a multi-time PIAA state placer, so looking to see what he'll do when he gets his toes in the water.
Yeah, stepping in here at 133. Typically around that 125 weight class, but Panthers pretty deep at 125, which, again, talking about that depth, 125 is one of those weight classes very hard to fill. But the Panthers have some options, and including being able to bump Chappell up here. Cook trying to come out through the legs here. Chappell holding on to that leg. Now looking to try to maybe sit through on a Peterson, but Cook able to get his leg through. Now it is Chappell trying to come out the back door. Cook holding around the waist. Chappell just slowly taking it into, looking into that potential Peterson again. Somehow through this entire scramble back and forth, no points, no one even close yet, Katie, to the takedown. Now Chappell pulling that leg in. Wants to drop Cook to a hip. Now popping his head around. There's the takedown for Chappell to take an early lead.
Yeah, last season Chappell was a redshirt. He went 11-9 in open tournaments when he wrestled unattached from the Panthers. He won at least one match in each tournament, so he's definitely working towards that consistency.
Reversal here for Cook to make it 3-2. And right away, Cook going to a 2-on-1 tilt, and he's going to turn Chappell over to his back. So trying to stack him up even more, but the near falls come for Cook, and he's now up 6-3. Once again, just trying to really a tight waist for Cook. Chappell to the sitting position. 6-3 at the end of one. Chappell got the opening takedown, but it was Cook with this reversal, stepping across, getting on the board, and then being able to hit this 2-on-1 tilt to get 4 near falls and almost had the pin. So off the whistle, into a sitting position is Chappell. Sit out and turn again. Now trying to get to his feet is Chappell. And he'll get out free for one to make it 6-4. Over a minute of riding time, though, for Cook. Just over that minute mark. Nice misdirection shot there by Chappell. Now gets the leg, pops his head. There's the takedown for Chappell. Now he's stepping through, wanting to try to get a tilt of his own. Cook on his side, Chappell leg in. Back and forth match here, Katie, at 133.
Yeah, a lot of people don't expect this between Division I and Division II. A lot of people think there's a big divide, but in wrestling, anything can happen. A lot of people go to these open tournaments where even high school age kids can wrestle, and people get upset all the time, and different divisions are beating other divisions all the time. So really, there is no certainty in wrestling whatsoever.
Chappell's going to be able to ride for the balance of this second period and erase that riding time that Cook had built up. So Chappell with the escape and then this takedown. What'd you see here, Katie?
It was a pretty takedown. He's able to get in on that leg. He starts trying to lace, and then eventually he's going to pop his head out, gets his head over the hip, and he's going to get that 3-point takedown.
So we're going to head to the final period, 7-6. Chapel out in front. Cook on the bottom to begin the period. Ride time really a non-factor at this point. Mat return there from Chapel. Up to his base is Cook, 35 seconds on the ride time. Still needs to continue to ride for the balance before potentially giving up an escape or reversal for Chapel. Going around the waist again, a mat return by Chapel. Now a leg in. Now over the ride time minute and a stalling call on Cook. Wing in right now. If you're Chapel, you want to just ride this one out, but if by some chance Cook can get going underneath, 1-2. Final 10 seconds of the third period, and Chapel will ride for the entire third. And a roll attempt and the ride time point. Chapel will defeat Cook 8-6. And that'll make it 7-0 Pitt at the end of 2 matches. 141 pounds coming up next.
We might get to see him wrestle Jaden Abbas again in that Stanford match next week.
Yeah, the ideal situation would be to redshirt Cade Brown, but they do get 5 matches they get to wrestle, so he'll get an opportunity to wrestle in some ACC duels, and with Finn Solomon banged up, it's great to have that option in Cade Brown. Briar Priest now coming in for the Panthers at 141 pounds. He's taken on Mason Myers. Mason Myers is ranked number 14 in Division II for Pitt Johnstown, as Briar Priest with the opening takedown, and will give a quick escape.
Yeah, Myers, he's really built himself a resume. In these last few years, he's been Super Region 1 runner-up. He's been an NCAA qualifier, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do against a Division 1 opponent.
Briar Priest has just been unable to really crack the lineup with some of the strong wrestlers they have at 141, and obviously a guy that his teammate Anthony Santaniello being there as well. But Priest coming in out of Hempfield from the WPIAL, Hempfield area I should say, and he won a couple of state titles himself, so he's somebody who comes in with high accolades.
Yeah, you're totally right about that. Last season he had 13 wins in 3 open tournaments, and 3 of those wins came by way of fall. So he's definitely trying to make his way into that open spot, but like we discussed earlier, there's a lot of depth in this lineup, and that means he's getting to wrestle the best people he can.
Nice double leg shot here from Priest, and just trying to finish, grabbing a hold of the leg, but unable to keep that hold was Myers, so another takedown for Priest. He's now up 6-1. Working those legs in right now, and now wants to try to get a tilt set up. Still a lot of time remaining in this first period. Panthers up 7-0. And the team score. This first period is going to come down to a close over about a minute and a half of riding time for Priest. But you look at the second takedown, Katie, this one was that double leg.
Oh, it was a pretty double leg. He's able to get him up, comes out the back door super fast, and then eventually Myers lets go of that leg, and that's going to get Priest on the board with 3.
Priest will go on the bottom to begin period number 2. Priest up to his feet, trying to peel the hands. A nice switch into Myers, gets the reversal, and able to really go right into a wing, and wants to look at a potential wing tilt. Nice, got a leg in, really in good position here as Priest. Got able to get that arm free was Myers. You look at this matchup, Katie, and you're going to get a stalling call here on Myers. You know, we're going to talk a lot throughout this entire broadcast about Pat Pecora and the legacy he's had, but yeah, this is one that he wanted for quite a long time, but never happened. That was never able to line it, and when Pitt had reached out, Tyler Reinhardt was actually talking to Coach Pecora. He was still alive at the time, and said, hey, should we do this? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. You need to make this happen. And that's something that Tyler Reinhardt was like, hey, we're going to wrestle Pitt.
Yeah, their whole goal this year is to make Pecora proud. They've had it on their T-shirts this year, and that's what they're doing every single duel. It's not about themselves. It's about something bigger than the Mountain Cats.
Had a reversal for Myers to make it 8-3. Priest out in front. Yeah, it was one of those opportunities for Keith Gavin as well, where the Panthers had an opportunity in their schedule where they had Midlands. So it was just one of those with the holidays on a Wednesday. Made things challenging because he wanted to basically get one more duel in between Midlands and the first one in an ACC duel with Stanford coming in next week. And so in doing so, it's like, hey, no team is going to come fly in for one match. So is there a local team? And obviously Pitt Johnstown is one of the best in regards to Division II. And it's like, hey, it's a no-brainer. Let's get them in and have this matchup. And we can honor Pat Pecora at the same time. And so when you look at, Pitt and what they have upcoming, Stanford next week, next Friday night, and then they go to West Virginia. You got NC State coming up here in a couple of weeks. You got Duke. It's one of those things where, especially with that Stanford matchup, they wanted to get one more duel in.
Yeah, you have to set the tone before all of those conference matchups start, and especially those ranked ones. 3 of their next 5 are all ranked matchups, which you like to see. You like to see these challenging duels that can go either way, but at the same time, you want to make sure that your team is still prepared to be in those duels.
And in theory, it all sounded great, and then everybody got between injured and illnesses. Not the way Keith Gavin had pictured it when making up the schedule, but still a good opportunity to have the Mountain Cats come here and get their first action against the Panthers.
Yeah, Midlands it does a number on everyone every single year. It's never anything but illnesses and sicknesses, and that's typically what you get around this time, which is sad, but it's also nice to be able to have that depth in the lineup and be able to put some new guys out there.
Including Briar Priest, who's up 12-3 with a minute to go. He's got the riding time points secured as well. Yeah, really just the most impressive thing we're seeing so far. I mean, this is the second backup that we've seen. Obviously, Babin is a regular starter for the Panthers, but you know, just coming up with the wrestlers still to come too is just that depth that the Panthers do have.
Yeah, and Priest, he's no stranger to wrestling some hard guys. He's wrestled at least 3 ranked opponents this year. He hasn't fared that well, but even in the matches where you don't win, you're still learning and you're still growing, and I think we're seeing that product right now.
Yeah, he's up 16-3. Ride time point will not give him the technical fall, but he will get a major decision win, 17-3, and that'll put the Panthers up 11-0 through 3 weight classes. Briar Priest with the victory, and just a dominant performance out of Briar Priest.
Yeah, he had some nice misdirection. He truly did command the entire match, and this is the kind of thing you like to see from a backup on your roster. He had some great tilts in there, and he was just making sure that he was controlling the match the entire time.
So we'll now move to 149 pounds, where the regular 141-pounder, Anthony Santaniello from the Panthers, ranked, will be taking on Chad Ozias from Pitt Johnstown. Nice drag by there from Santaniello. Trying to just get Ozias down to the mat. And there's the 3. Now wants to try to go to a tilt. There's that 2-on-1 tilt. Ozias trying to get up to his feet. Still 3-0 lead for Santaniello as he gets up to about a minute of riding time. Two-on-one tilt here should get some back points here. A lot of 1 counts. Don't know if I saw 2, Katie.
I don't know. That was a very interesting count right there. Not really sure what to make of that.
The last one was a 1.5.
Oh, wow. Can we get
sure.
that on the scoreboard somehow?
No back points, though, for any of those tilts. Down to 25 seconds remaining here in this first period, where Santaniello has rode for most of it. There's a stalling call on Ozias. Santaniello on the bottom. He is ranked. I was getting to that point, but ranked at 141, so that's why it's not in the graphic for 149 since he's not ranked in this weight class. But he is a number 29th ranked wrestler at 141 pounds. I'll sit out and turf from Santaniello. Quick escape. Inside single attempt. Trying to drop down to a hip and gets the takedown on Ozias. Ozias up to his feet. Santaniello now looking for that tilt. Another stalling call, so a penalty point awarded. And they'll go out of bounds with 31 seconds left. As takedown here, Katie.
Oh, pretty little single leg right there. He's able to work, drop the hip, pops his head out. Nice little 3-point takedown right there.
So 8-0. Santaniello out in front. He's now got the ride time point secured, and we still got a whole nother period to go. That's how long he's been riding in this match. So we'll see Ozias. What will he go with here in the third?
Yeah, we'll have to see what Ozias does. He himself, redshirt sophomore out of Connellsville, Pennsylvania, two-time Pennsylvania State placer. Last season, he suffered a season-ending injury, so it's good for Pitt Johnstown to have him back out on the mat at least, where Santaniello this year, bumping up a weight class now, but at 141 this year, he wrestled number 2 and last year's national champion, Jesse Mendez. And I think you learn a lot in those types of matches where you are wrestling the top-ranked guys.
Ozias did go neutral, didn't expect him to go underneath. So he wants to take a shot here and snap down for Santaniello, trying to spin behind. And he does for the takedown. Now a roll through attempt. Once again, trying to go back to that tilt. Santaniello has yet to get back points here, but now he will. He got 2 of them. So still not a technical fall. Now he's just going to give an escape. Shot here by Ozias. Santaniello will spin behind. There's the takedown and a technical fall for Anthony Santaniello. And that'll make the score 16-0. Panthers leading the Mountain Cats through 4 weight classes. Back with more here in a moment.
Parenting, it's a filthy business. Even the messes have messes. Start your day with AG1. Multivitamins, probiotics, and superfoods to support your immune system so you can handle business.
I avoided credit cards most of my life, but when I started to create a streaming platform for musicians like me, I knew it was important to build my credit to set my business up right. I heard about the Chime Credit Builder card and I signed up right away. I didn't have to worry about fees, interest, or credit checks. Within a month, my score went up. Now it's up over 100 points. I feel set up for success, and so is my business. I tell everybody about the Chime Credit Builder Card. Here we go. Check it out at chime.com.
You ready for the NFL playoffs?
What you got, Chad?
Let's put cameras on every player. Weather in 4D. Hibachi vendors.
What do you want?
Shrimp.
Okay, right up.
So you guys like my ideas?
No.
Getting an opportunity to honor a legend here tonight, Pat Pecora, the remarkable coach for the Pitt Johnstown team. His family all here tonight, as they showed a great video, Katie, moments ago in honor of Coach Pat Pecora.
Yeah, Pecora, he was a great wrestling coach, but it's not just that sets him apart. It's that he made Pitt Johnstown wrestling not just for years, but for life. He's kept these relationships going, and his resume is just incredible. You will hardly ever see another coach with something like this, and just the legacy that he's built at Pitt Johnstown and that they are continuing to build on is just incredible.
Pat Pecora lost his battle to cancer in September, but fought the entire time, coached up to through last year, and just it's remarkable the amount of individuals, you know, here tonight that wrestled for Pat Pecora and the mark that he made on their lives. It's not even just about what was on the mat, but just, you know, how he influenced them off as well. We move into 157 pounds, where for the Panthers it is Jack Pletcher, and for the Pitt Johnstown it is Cooper Warshall. Warshall is ranked number 13 in Division II.
Yeah, Warshall last year had a great season. He was their starter at 157. He was a Super Region 1 champ for Division II, and he was also their Conference Freshman of the Year, and he had a 21-7 overall record, and he's just looking to keep building on that.
Shot in, Pletcher trying to just spin around behind, and he will, to get the opening takedown. Good quickness there out of Pletcher.
Yeah, Pletcher, redshirt sophomore out of Latrobe, Pennsylvania. He himself is a Pennsylvania state placer. He took a red shirt his freshman year. He went 9-4 at 157 pounds. And then last year he dropped to 149, got a few more wins on the board, and then this year we're seeing him bump back up to that 157 spot.
Filling in here for Dylan Evans. Nice little 1-2 punch here for the Panthers, and this is what we're talking about with the depth of the Pitt Panthers team. When you have a solid redshirt freshman like Dylan Evans, who's having a great season thus far, and then you fill in with Jack Pletcher coming right behind, a solid wrestler in his own right.
Yeah, Evans, he's done great, especially recently in their quad with Maryland, South Dakota State, and Ryder. He had some nice upset wins that we like to see, and all 4 of his losses this year have been against ranked opponents. So Evans is going to continue building, but on the off chance he can't, Pletcher's waiting for his moment in the spotlight.
And looking good so far here with a pair of takedowns to go up 6-1. Marshall to his feet, and Pletcher just trying to get him back down to the mat here in these final seconds of the first period. So Pletcher will be up 6-1 at the end of 1. Here's one of those takedowns, the first one. Shot in, just spin behind from Pletcher. And that second one, Katie.
Yeah, Pletcher's just going to step back. He's trying to step over. He's getting himself a little caught, but eventually he's going to be able to get his hips back and take off Warshall from defending that.
Quick escape for Pletcher to go up 7-1. It was a good limp arm through at the right time to be able to get that second takedown. What makes Pletcher so tough is low center of gravity. Tough to get in, and then obviously he's got some strong legs to, once you get in there, try to be able to get him out of position is challenging.
Yeah, Pletcher's been commanding this match the entire time, and it's what Gavin has been looking for recently, and he's just trying to make himself known and show that he is working in the room and he's putting that product out here.
Down to 30 seconds remaining here in the second period. A 7-1 lead for Pletcher. Down to the final seconds, and Jack Pletcher. That last name might sound familiar to some folks. You got Luke Pletcher over in the corner, Katie.
Yeah, Luke Pletcher, it's his third season as an assistant coach for Pitt, but that little drop line you see, two-time All-American at Ohio State, Pletcher was truly on his way to winning a national title before COVID shut the world down. So it's still good to see him out here still involved in wrestling, and he's mentoring his little brother while he's at it.
You know, as you mentioned, on his way to a national title. I'd never seen him wrestle better than in that season. And, you know, he was going into the national tournament as a top seed. And I think I've mentioned it on a few broadcasts. I truly believe he was definitely going to be a national champ that year, had it not been for the world being shut down.
Yeah, wrestling is all about peaking at the right time. If you take your losses early in the season, it's whatever. But by the time you get into those conference matches, you want to be at the top of your game, and that's exactly where Pletcher was.
Marshall with a nice opportunity here with the leg picked up high. See if he'll be able to finish this. Tries to go up high. And that might have been a mistake, Katie, because now Pletcher able to capitalize, get the takedown, and looking to try to go to a cradle. He's not going to be able to get it, but ride time up over a minute now. So the escape here. The ride time point would still give Pletcher the major decision. So really here up to Warshall to try to get some points on the board in these final 20 seconds. So with the ride time point, it'll make it an 11-3 victory for Jack Pletcher. And that will give the Pitt Panthers a 20-0 lead in the team score as we are halfway through this dual meet. Back with more here from the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse in a moment.
Money is tight, so we must make sacrifices. I give up my bespoke shaving subscription.
And I'll stop ordering everything that's trending on Instagram.
And I will no longer agree to the add-ons at the oil change place just because the mechanic called me ma'am.
It really is a top-of-the-line filter, ma'am.
And of course, we'll downgrade our insurance to get a lower rate.
Well, you know you don't have to make sacrifices now that you're saving money with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle.
You couldn't have said that like 6 seconds ago?
Yellow.
Didn't pass the tissue test?
Dr. Garcia?
Buckle up.
Whoa! Crest Reality Checkup!
There's toothpaste white, and then there's Crest 3D White Strips white. Oh, one sec.
Crest 3D White Strips safely work below the enamel surface to whiten like a $400 professional treatment.
Prepare for non-stop smiles.
The #1 teeth whitening brand in America. And use Crest 3D White toothpaste to maintain your smile. Crest.
So far, the Panthers are up 20-0. You get back starter Nick Babin, and then you have Tyler Chappell with a tough decision win. Briar Priest looking strong in his victory. And then up a weight class, Anthony Santaniello able to get a technical fall. And most recently, Jack Fletcher able to get the victory as well. Put the Panthers up 20-0 early. And we now head to 165 pounds, where it'll be Grant McKay for Pitt, taking on Gavin Beck for Pitt Johnstown. Stepping over was McKay, and he's going to get the opening takedown.
3-point takedown for McKay.
Grant McKay out of Laurel. Another Pennsylvania State champion, trying to find his mark here in the Panthers lineup. Just hasn't been able to quite crack the lineup yet, but getting an opportunity here.
Yeah, last season McKay went 17-8 wrestling unattached, so he's been able to get himself in those tournament situations and look good, and he's just wrestling those tough guys in the room every week that are just constantly improving him, and he's getting that chance right now to show that product.
Throwing a leg in is McKay, and trying to cross face over and get some back points, and now he will. Head up under the neck of Beck. Four back points coming, and McKay takes an early 7-0 lead. Strong with those legs. Very physical on top is McKay. Once again, that cross face underneath the neck, and it will get back points again here on Beck. Gotta let go of the hold, he will. So 11-0 now. Trying to once again look for another tilt. Still has about 10 seconds left. Wants to try to go back to that same move with the crossface underneath the neck, and there it is. This would give him the technical fall, and there are the 4 back points and a technical fall in the first period for Grant McKay. 15-0, and that'll make it 25-0 in the team score. He did this 3 times. That's all he needed to get the back points for the tech fall, that cross-faced tilt.
174 pounds for Pitt Johnstown is Nathan Myers.
So 15-0 technical fall, and we quickly go to 174. For Pitt Johnstown, it'll be Macon Myers. He'll be taking on Mateo De La Pena from Pitt. Single leg attempt. So Luca Augustine out of the lineup here today. De La Pena getting an opportunity here at 174.
Yeah, De La Pena is a transfer from Cal Baptist, where he went 6-5 in duels last season. This season, he's looking pretty good as well. He's 4-2 right now, and it'll just be interesting to see what he does with this starting spot.
Whizzer applied here from Myers, trying to fight off this single leg, but De La Pena is going to be able to get the opening takedown. So 25-0 lead in the team score. An emotional night here for a lot of folks here in the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. So Myers will get the escape. Sure, there are several of those here for the folks at Pitt Johnstown, though.
Yeah, Pitt Johnstown, they are a huge wrestling community. The state of Pennsylvania is a hotbed for wrestling as well, and we can see this with Macon Myers, who himself was a Pennsylvania state placer and had over 100 wins in high school.
Yeah, you look at the guys in this lineup as well for Pitt Johnstown. A lot of these guys from the WPIL, you know, Chad Ozias, Gavin Beck, Noah Ganivas we're going to see coming up, Isaiah Vance. Then you have other guys local to the Johnstown, like Cooper Warshall, you know, not too far away from Johnstown as an example. Yeah. Pitt Johnstown benefits from the opportunity where guys from, especially the WPIL, but really within Southwest Pennsylvania, they may not get that Division I offer they were hoping for. And in doing so, they get the chance to wrestle locally at Pitt Johnstown, still get to wrestle with the Pitt logo, and you know, get an opportunity in the Division II level and really be able to make your mark.
Yeah, we discussed this earlier about how sometimes it's just about when you peak. You have some wrestlers who in high school aren't able to even podium or qualify for the PIAA state tournament, and then they go to college and they really flourish. So it's all about finding that time, finding your sweet spot in the place that's right for you and where you will peak.
3-1 lead for De La Pena at the end of one. Myers on the bottom here in the second period. Escape makes it 3-2. Shot in by De La Pena, outside single. Switches over to that double, and he'll get the takedown and go up 6-2 halfway through the second period. Yeah, based on what we're seeing here from the first 6 matches, Katie, I'd imagine we may not see another Panther starter here tonight.
Yeah, some of those injuries have really just taken them out, and it's a better decision to rest those starters before they have Stanford next week than to risk further injury or aggravating an old injury or sickness or whatever it is tonight, and just letting those younger guys get this experience in.
Yeah, we opened with the strength of the Panthers lineup, 174 to 285. But it looks like none of those 4 will potentially go as far as the team score and where things stand. See if Keith proves us wrong, but that's the early hunch on our part after two, a 6-2 lead for De La Pena. This was a nice, smooth takedown.
Just a beautiful knee slide in. He's able to lift up, and then he finishes super nice. He's been strong on top all day, and he's been great in neutral as well.
So De La Pena up 6-2 after two on the bottom to begin this third. Trying to slowly work up to his feet. Not much movement here. We'll see if one of the wrestlers has some give, and looks like De La Pena now trying to go to a switch. Didn't let go of the leg. Still control right now for Myers, and he's going to turn De La Pena for a moment, but no back points there. And instead of just taking the one, he tried to finish with that reversal. And now the ride time continues to chip away as well.
Yeah, we haven't had much of a chance to see Myers on top, and from what we are seeing now, he's doing very well. He's able to get his laces in, and he's able to keep working on De La Pena.
De La Pena gonna get a stalling call. His first. Yeah, Myers probably thankful at this point, right? Like, hey, thanks for, I would have given that escape, but you kept going for it. Now I'm able to maintain control. So the ride time point's gone now. If you're Myers, if you can find a way to get a tilt of some kind, get 4 back points, you're going to overtime. Got to try to hit something quick here in the final 10 seconds. So the ride time point erased, but De La Pena is going to get the victory, 6-2. And that'll make it 28-0 in the team score with 3 bouts to go. And we'll have them for you here coming up next from the Fitzgerald Fieldhouse.
And we love to see her taking her talent to the next level.
Full swing now into the winter sports, and we are underway here at 184 pounds. Chase Kranitz for the Pitt Panthers taking on Noah Ganivas from Pitt Johnstown. A couple of local guys, Kranitz from Norwin High School, Ganivas from Mount Pleasant.
Ganivas doing fairly well this season. He's had a lot of tough matches. He's 1-1 in duels, with his one loss coming to 2-time national champion and currently #1 Division II ranked wrestler at 184, Ty McGeary of West Liberty University.
Another local guy from West Allegheny, McGeary. Kranitz getting an opportunity here with the Panthers after originally starting at Buffalo before coming here to Pitt. He's got a guy he's in his last season in Reese Heller, so an opportunity will open up here at 184 come next year.
Yeah, Kranitz looked really good at Buffalo last season. He bumped up. He was originally 165 the previous year, but last year he went 16-8 overall, 5-2 in their conference. He's made that switch to an ACC school, and he's in the room with Reese Heller. He's getting to wrestle with him on an almost daily basis, so he's learning and he's continuing to grow.
I think Ganivas may have had a contact fallout. Referee's time right now. About halfway through the first period, scoreless. Down attempt here from Ganibas, and now Kranitz trying to step in. Ganibas just trying to hang on here. Good job by Kranitz. Just spin behind and get that finish. You're noticing a lot from the Pitt Johnstown side, and the struggles on their feet. Just really, they're getting some good looks on shots, but just been unable to finish and really getting stuck underneath. And the Panthers been able to spin around behind.
Yeah, Pitt's been a little bit faster. I think they're seeing these openings even whenever they're on defense, and they're able to turn that into their own offense.
2-on-1 tilt here, ends up losing the arm, but does get 3 near fall points. Does Kranitz to go up 6-0. Final seconds coming out. 6-0 lead at the end of 1 for Chase Kranitz. Take a look at that opening takedown, Katie.
Yeah, so Kranitz doesn't even get the original shot, but he keeps working. He's going to grab that left leg of Ganibas, and he's able to keep spinning and spinning, and he's eventually going to go. A roll is attempted, excuse me, but he's still able to capitalize and get the takedown.
So neutral to begin the second period. 6-0 lead for Kranitz. And we'll tie up here. Six to nothing lead, about halfway through the second period.
1 minute remaining, second period.
And Evis had the one shot. Really, there's a lot of tie-ups in the first as well. Looked like they wanted to both shoot at the same time, but neither wrestler getting after it. And one thing that Keith Gavin wanted was a tune-up, and looks like he's going to get that, although most of the guys who may wrestle against Stanford not wrestling here tonight. Toss attempt from Ganibas, and just drops Kranitz right on top of himself. And now Kranitz wants to see if he can get some back points here late. Not going to be able. But a 9-0 lead. One count, if anything. And Katie, here it is. You're trying for a toss, but Kranitz able to sink his hips down low.
Yeah, Ganibas just wasn't able to elevate himself enough. Like you said, Kranitz was able to get himself low enough, and that's what resulted in that takedown.
So ride time right now, just over a minute. Kranitz will be underneath to begin the third period. Looks like now we're going to have a stoppage. Looks like a headgear issue for Ganibas. That gets quickly resolved. I stand to a switch and really just knock Ganibas off balance and get the reversal. So any fear of losing that ride time point instead, Granite's very quickly back on top. Now is just one turn away from a potential tech fall. One thing with this added scoring, you get to those majors and tech falls much quicker. And a wrestler's mentality right now, it's like, I'm down 11-0. This is going to be super tough to come back from. But really, you know, a takedown and right to their back, that's a 7-point move.
Yeah, those takedowns becoming 3 points have definitely made being on offense more of an incentive than it is to be a defensive wrestler, even though defensive wrestlers still do very well at the collegiate level. We've seen it with guys like Cole Matthews of Pitt, but yeah, that 3 from the 2, it's definitely changed things up. However, I will say 2 was a little bit more fun to say than 3.
You know, I haven't said 2 yet today, so probably should knock on some wood somewhere that hasn't slipped up once. Up to 2.5 minutes of ride time. Granite's a dominant third period here, and going to continue Pitt's dominance here in this matchup. Pitt Johnstown's best opportunities, though, will come in their next 2 as they have their best 2 guys coming out to the mats coming up. But the ride time point for Granite makes it a 12-0 major decision. And the Panthers up 32-0 with 2 to go. Just looking over at the Panthers corner, we will not be seeing Maxed Out or Dayton Pitzer here tonight. And for this one at 197 for Pitt, it'll be Daniel Gurovich. He'll be taking on Dakota Rogers from Pitt Johnstown, who is currently ranked number 8 in Division II.
Yeah, Rogers, he's a Pennsylvania native. He went to Connellsville area high school. He's done very well for himself. He's built himself quite the resume at Pitt Johnstown, and it'll be exciting to see what he can do against an untested Gurovich.
Maxed Out, fresh off of his Midlands title, will not go here tonight. He'll get some opportunity to rest.
Yeah, Stout's had a great season, 12-2 on the year. He's currently on a 9-match win streak, looking to keep that going potentially next week against Stanford, but might be a better idea to let him rest, especially after all of those matches at Midlands earlier this week.
One minute in, no score between Rogers and Gurovich. Ankle pick here, and Rogers will get the opening takedown. Now Rogers will take Gurovich out halfway through the period. Nice slick takedown here, Katie.
Yeah, it almost just seemed like Gurovich got caught standing still a little bit. It was an easy, nice pick for Rogers to get in on.
Returning All-American for the Mountain Cats is Rogers. Gurovich will get the escape.
Just a minute, number 3.
3-1 lead for Rogers. Trying to go for a cradle here is Rogers, gets the takedown. Now wants to see if he could try to take this over and get the Mountain Cats on the board. Still plenty of time, 30 seconds left. But a good job by Gervich to break free out of that lock. And they go out with 13 seconds left. Ride time close to a minute here for Rogers. I get a caution here on Rogers. So Rogers trying to ride for the balance of this period, and he will to make it 6-1 at the end of one. Max Stout not wrestling here today. He's ranked number 12 in the nation at 197. You mentioned his win streak, Katie, and he's looking to continue his successful season.
Yeah, he went undefeated in the month of December, and he's looking to continue that into this new year. He did very well in the postseason last year, and he's definitely looking to keep this momentum and keep this win streak going.
So Rogers going neutral to begin the second period. You know, despite the lopsided team score, I'm sure Pat Pecora's got to be smiling right now that his Mountain Cats got the opportunity to wrestle the Panthers.
Yeah, I think this is a great challenge for Pitt Johnstown, and that's one thing about them as a Division II team is that they're never shying away from any sort of adversity. They face everything head on. For example, they were the only Division II team at the Journeyman Classic, which, as many wrestling fans know, is a huge Division I typically tournament. But Pitt Johnstown showed up, and Rogers actually went 3-0 against Division I opponents at that tournament.
Tyler Reinhardt, the head coach in his first season, after serving as the assistant to Pat Pecora over the last half dozen seasons, and national champ himself is Reinhardt at the Division II level, and his assistant Shane Valco also a national champ as well. So two guys who have won national titles under Pat Pecora getting an opportunity to lead the Mountain Cats. Rogers in on a shot, and he'll be able to finish and get the takedown, go up 9-1. So 9-1 after two. There's the coaches for Pitt Johnstown, and Gervich is going to go neutral as well. Major decision in hand right now for Rogers, pending the outcome of this third period.
Yeah, Rogers this season 8-0 overall, 3-0 in duels, and 3 of his wins have come by way of major decision, and 2 of his wins have been by technical fall. So he's just keeping that up. He's trying to get his bonus points.
And diving shot from Gervich. Rogers spins behind. Now an escape given. And Rogers is feeling it right now. Getting into rhythm and thinking he could try to get a technical fall here for his team. Stalling call on Gervich. Backing up out of bounds. So he would need 2 more takedowns here with Rogers to get a tech fall. Still a lot of time to be able to get to. Just trying to spin by, and there's the takedown, and was gonna just give the escape. Now just goes right in for a cradle. And Rogers, instead of going for 2 takedowns, is just gonna go for the near fall here. And there's the near fall coming. There's a 3. That's enough for a technical fall. And Rogers will get it with 12 seconds left, and that puts the Mountain Cats on the board. 32-5 as we go into our final bout at 285 pounds. And that is coming up next.
In a commanding fashion. We've seen it with Pitt starters, and we've seen it with some of their backups, and it's showing that Pitt has depth all the way through their roster, and they're just looking to keep that going in this last match.
And here it is at 285 pounds, where for the Mountain Cats, it's Isaiah Vance. He's ranked number 6 in the nation in Division II, and is a returning All-American. He is taking on Mustafa Woody from the Panthers, who is filling in for Dayton Pitzer here tonight. Isaiah Vance, local, the Hempfield area for the WPIAL, multiple-time state place winner. Good step through with a shot there from Woody, but good job by Vance fighting that off. Into a tie up right now. Just about halfway through this opening period. Good exchange here. Nice job by Woody to finish that shot. Gets Vance off balance and gets the opening takedown.
Yeah, Woody is a true freshman out of Cleveland, Ohio. He's been 3rd at the Ohio State Tournament, and this is just a great shot by him. He can see that Vance is a little bit off balance, and he capitalizes on that.
Yeah, was able to drive forward. Get that takedown, and now Vance up to his feet, and Woody brought him down once, but not a second time.
Yeah, Vance himself, he's been great in these past seasons. Last year, he was the Super Region 1 champion. He was an All-American as he placed 5th at the D2 National Championship. He went 32-3 overall last year and finished 17-0 in the dual season for Pitt Johnstown.
Yeah, one of their cornerstones on the team. Good shot in here again from Woody, and Vance is trying to hang over the top. And being able to stop Woody's penetration was just big for Vance, because now he's able to force his weight on top of Woody, and get him off that leg, and he'll spin behind. So it'll be 4-3 Vance at the end of one. And again, really, Woody was driving on that shot, but once Vance was able to get him down to his knees, he was then able to get him off the leg and get that takedown. Escape for Vance, makes it 5-3. Has to make you wonder, after being underneath a Vance and unable to finish that shot, how much Woody's going to be aggressive with trying to get another big shot like that.
Yeah, I think still you just have to keep going. Wrestling at heavyweight is a little bit different. A lot of the times whenever there's a big takedown, you're not going to see that as often. But if you keep going in and you have a clean shot, you have a better opportunity to put points up on the board.
Down with about 30 seconds left here in this second period. Neither guy really looking to make that shot. Just really staying in those ties, and Vance having the lead right now, doesn't need to force anything. He'll have a 5-3 lead after two. You look at the Panthers, and they have not only won matches, but they've been scoring bonus points in just about every one. 133, I think, the lone exception to that. Looking at their other wins, and even Pitt Johnstown with a bonus point win as well. It was a shot in by Vance, and Woody able to spin behind. Good mat return there for Woody. Vance quickly up though. He gets an escape, wanted to go in quickly on a shot. We're tied at 6.
Yeah, both wrestlers have that sense of urgency right now, and that's exactly what they need to. Vance is a pretty aggressive wrestler. He has been throughout his college career, so seeing this is nothing new for him. We haven't gotten to see Woody as much as Vance, so seeing his style and seeing what he's doing with this chance that he's been given.
Final minute of the third. Ride time a non-factor. It is 29 seconds in the favor of Woody, but again, not quite to that minute mark. So it's really next takedown wins. If it doesn't happen in these 45 seconds, they'll go to overtime and see what happens there. Down to 30 seconds left. Haven't seen Woody take a shot since he got caught underneath, and as soon as I say that, he goes to grab for a leg. Gets in on a leg, but he's flattened out right now. This is trouble for Woody. Vance is gonna spin behind, and there's the takedown with 15 seconds left. Isaiah Vance of Pitt Johnstown is going to get a decision win and win it 9-6. To make it a 32-8 final score for Pitt. So Isaiah Vance, the winner, 9-6. here's the winner, Katie.
Yeah, he just saw that. He took his defense and he made it his offense. He's able to keep working, gets in on that arm, and just stretches himself out and what he can't hold on, and he puts 3 up.
So the final score here, 32-8. Any final thoughts, Katie, on the match?
I mean, Greg, it was complete Panther domination for basically the entire thing, but this was a great challenge for the Mountain Cats as well. There's a lot of respect between these programs, and who knows, maybe we'll see them wrestle again in the future. And this is definitely setting the tone for both teams as they enter their conference play.
Yeah, definitely would love to see this one continue. For Katie Pearson, I'm Greg Warnock saying so long from Pittsburgh, where the final score is 32-8. Pitt over Pitt Johnstown to watch this entire match on.
பரவாயில்ல சேச்சி இல்லையே தப்பிச்சிட்டியே இல்லை அவன் எத்தனை கிளாஸ் படிக்க அந்த பையன் அப்ப எனக்கு கொஞ்ச நாள் தான் இல்லை இவன் சும்மா சொல்லுவானா இருக்கும்ல இவன் தான் அந்த பிள்ளைல பாப்பானா இருக்கும் சரி யா அப்ப நீ 2K கிடையாது ஓ இயர் என்னது உனக்கு என்னல உனக்கு 2000 எத்தனைன்னு கேட்டேன் ஓ சின்ன பையன்